Hello, hello, hello. Dylan Garcia here. Welcome to episode number 4. We are shooting on Friday, May 20th. So let's get right into it, right? Everything's getting tough right now. Things are getting expensive. And that can be a lot of stress on a lot of people. Not everyone is making it and achieving beyond the norm, and that comes down to a lot of stress, and it's important to take care of your mental health. This is the Never Been Defeated podcast. This is a mental health podcast, an inspirational podcast, and a motivational podcast. So what I can say is the first thing that I usually do when I'm feeling a little stressed or just feeling pressure from certain things, I just take a deep breath, just kind of let it out and just let it flow. I mean, sometimes we can get really stuck in a rut. We can get really lost into our own minds, and we can get stuck into our own minds, and our minds will really defeat us. So what you must do, and what I do from the very moment that I wake up, it's like you got to have an attitude of gratitude. The very moment I wake up, it's just like, bam, thank you. Thank you. I am alive for another day. And to me, that is the biggest blessing. And you got to be grateful for it. When you practice gratitude, that in turn helps your mental health tremendously. Especially when you know that you're being grateful for things, and you're just being grateful for where you're at right now. Because we all want to be somewhere else. That's just how our mind works. But to focus on where you want to be right now, that's really, really important. So, as of March, this is about the beginning of March, when COVID kind of started laxing and things started opening up and the mask mandates were taken off, a lot of opportunities came up. I was able to do some speaking engagements, speaking at the American Federation of Suicide Prevention. That was great. Got a really great response from the crowd while we were out there, while I was speaking. And then the next day I performed in Los Angeles at a nightclub, the Virgil. And one thing, especially with mental health, you got to learn how to balance things. Like me personally, being the high energetic, bipolar person that I am, I thrive being off. I thrive being busy. And, the calendar has kind of been filling up, and just to have shows and events to keep going to, and doing podcasts and interviews, just to stay, I don't want to say relevant, but to be consistent. That's another thing I want to talk about today, is being consistent. That's what I pray about, about 90% of the time, is God, just let me be consistent. And when I mean consistent, it's, taking care of business, being consistent for my family, being a consistent person with my job, being a consistent person with my career in music, being consistent with, my mental health. That is another big thing, is trying to be consistent on it. And I know we have our off days. I know some days are good, some days are bad, some days are just in between. But what's most important, is just trying to be consistent. Yeah, you might wake up and have a shitty day, or you might wake up and but that's why you got to start the day, like I said in previous podcasts, you got to start the day by saying thank you and being grateful. And I think in turn that helps you be consistent, because it's a routine. You're waking up with gratitude, the fact that you opened up your eyes. And I know some people are going through things. I know everyone struggles. I struggle. It's just a part of life. But that just comes and goes. The struggle comes and goes. The struggle comes and goes. 1 month the bills might be tight. Might be tight to pay the bills. Another month, it's like, boom, I can take a couple days off. Just being consistent and being grateful, and making that a habit. I start my day usually pretty early. I'm usually awake between 4 and 5 in the morning. Sometimes I'll say between 3 and 5 in the morning. Sometimes I'm awake. I go to bed early. I'm pretty consistent about falling asleep at 10 o'clock. So for me, 5, 6, 7 hours, I'm good. But just waking up, and the first thing I do, I come to the living room. My little dog comes with me, Marlo, and he sits next to me on the couch, and And I put he likes being underneath the blanket, so I put him underneath the blanket, and I just get there, and I got 2 books that I read. The first book that I read, it's a daily devotional. It's called Man of God. And then I also have this other book. It's another daily devotional, and it's God centered. You got to start your day, regardless of what you believe. You got to believe in something, but you got to start your day with gratitude just by saying thank you. And usually 9 times out of 10, I'm consistent and do it, and I do say thank you. Sometimes I wake up and I had a party the night before, and I wake up and I'm kind of just like, whoa, what happened? But that doesn't happen as often as it used to, because I just want to be consistent. I'm consistent with doing, my happy aloha video in the morning. Like that's become a part of my life. That's consistency of, I realize I got to do that every day. And so you just build these habits to help you be consistent. And when it comes to mental health, being consistent and having a routine is more important than anything. I mean, and mental health issues or not, I mean, you got to have some kind of direction you go into during the day and what you're going to take care of. Because if you don't, you have no direction, and you're just wasting time. And wasted time that's where I'm really hard on myself, is make sure I'm not wasting my time. But then again, I'll have my psychiatrist tell me like, hey, it's just normal to watch TV for an hour. To me, if I'm not locked in doing something, productive, I'm thinking somebody else is working harder than me, and to me, I take it to heart that I work hard. It's important to me. And that's just what world do we live in that you don't have to work every day? The Rock said that. I mean, it's about getting up, being grateful, and then getting to work, putting in the work, using your 2 hands, just using your gift, using your using your gift and turning it into a passion. Things, and about being passionate in life. Passion is a big thing, and with passion with love, and you have passion, but be passionate for life. That is just like, woo, what's the word for that? That's like crispy, being passionate for life, and it all begins. You wake up, you say thank you. For me, I do these biblical devotionals because, I mean, the Bible's one of the best books, and it teaches you how to live. And, it's just a part of my daily routine. And it's good because I know if I wake up early, everyone's still sleeping. I get a good 15, 20 minutes of time where I can lock in and just center on after these devotionals and think about how I want to go about my day. And that's the reason why I wake up super early, because I don't want to be waking up at 7:30. How am I going to get, 20 minutes in, 15 minutes in of just good solid meditation and devotionals and getting my mind right when I'm already running late? So that, to me, I'll make the sacrifice of waking up at 4 a.m, but it gives me that extra time to get myself grounded and ready for the day. And that's really important to me. Like, if I have a big day, like a lot of things, and I have a big day coming up, you'll see me. I'll take my dog. I'll go for a walk for about 4 miles in the morning, be out walking for about an hour, 20 minutes, get home. And then I get on the bike, because exercise is really good for you. Exercise is really important. Exercise is good for you, not only for your physical health, but for your mental health. And to me, that's what I got to do. And that's just my routine. And once I get off the bike, I'm all pumped up. I'm sweating. I'm like, woo, the day's going to be dope, because I accomplished this stuff when a majority of the world is probably still sleeping. I've already walked 4 miles when people are just barely waking up. And I understand not everybody's like me, but that's just how I got to do it. So make sure that I'm good. So waking up by being thankful, just the fact that I got another day. And regardless of whatever problems that I got going on, I'm still going to take the day head on, because that's just what it's about. And sometimes you got to get fired up. And here's another thing. You got to fire up yourself. You can't expect somebody to do it for you. We can't expect for our loved ones. Like, we got to have that inner drive, like the drive of taking care of your family, the drive of taking care of your loved ones, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your fiance, any of that stuff. That should be the drive, because at the end of the day, it's about family too. And so starting the day by saying thank you. Get a little exercise in, even if it's just to walk around the block, just something to get the heart going. It could be simple. You don't have to go all crazy, but just something like that, and just getting your mind right so you know that when you step into the day, It's going to be okay. And regardless of whatever obstacles you face that day, everything's going to be cool because you already got yourself centered for the day. Now imagine this. Here's a scenario. Your job starts at 9 a.m., right? So it's like, cool, my job starts at 9. Okay, for the first couple of weeks, I'll wake up at 7, right? You give you 2 hours to get ready, right? And then you're with this routine. You're waking up at 7. You got your clothes ironed. You're good to go. But now you're about a month into your job, right? So now it's like, oh, might go have a couple drinks after work. Now you're waking up at 7:30, 7:45. So that's only giving you an hour and a half, hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes to get your day going. So what do? You get your cup of coffee, you turn on, what does usually people turn on? People turn on the news in the morning. And that's, so you're watching the news, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh man, I got to get to work. So you're already rushing. You're in the shower, you're rushing. You didn't have not one moment of just like 5, 10, 15 minutes just to center yourself and see, just pump yourself up mentally of which direction you want to go, because you're running late. And look, like I said, it's not for everybody, but if you can try it, because it wasn't for me, but I kept at it. And this whole between 4 and 5 a.m. thing just become habit. Don't get me wrong. There'll be a week, maybe I wake up one day, I sleep in, you know what I mean? Because I only got like 5 hours the day before, you know what I mean? But it's just all about balance. But you see what I'm saying? That scenario, you're running late to work, you're running out the door, your mind's already rushing just to catch up to the day, when you can get yourself centered and let the day catch up to you from the moment you start. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave you with this. Stay positive, keep working hard, wake up and be grateful. The moment you wake up and open your eyes, be grateful. Thank the man above and say, thank you for another day. And, try to get your little devotional in, whatever try to get something spiritual, started in the morning, for 10, 15 minutes reading. Just do something that just helps center you, so that whatever bullshit comes at you today or tomorrow, you can handle it because you started your day the right way. And like I said, it's not for everybody. It took me a while to jump on this, wake up at between 4 and 5 a.m., but it's really made me disciplined about my sleep. And it's really made me more disciplined in life, and it gets me a lot of time extra to get more things done. So I'll leave you with this. I'm out. My name is Dylan Garcia. This is the Never Been Defeated podcast. I love you guys. Take care. And if I can do it, you can too. Boom.